Think about it. Thank you.
You guys. I know. That's the way it went down.
Pray for Len. Hashtag pray for Len.
Hey, he married me.
Special thanks to Scranton Road Promotional Marketing and
gracias.
Division of Scranton Road Ministries for providing sponsorship of overtime and promotional products for you and your business. They invest in the city. You should invest for your promotional gear. No. What were you thinking, Jannelle?
About what?
You're being honest. Like, you don't remember whether you softened that? Like, that was legit. That was Brian's dramatic version of Jannelle literally saying to him, I don't love you, when he said, I love you. You didn't say, like, oh, I care about you so much.
No, yeah.
I'm attracted to you. You're such a dear friend. I don't know if I'm ready to say the L word yet, but it's so special that you've said that to me. Like, you didn't soften it at all?
I forgot. I just
No, that's what
saying,
mine
I
is saying.
don't love you. I remember saying that.
Oh, Jannelle. Ow. Oh, poor
Mike
Len.
says you're too honest in your story sometimes. Brian just jumps on those opportunities. I've said that story before, though. I'm not scared of Brian. I mean, he married me, so it wasn't that bad. He probably appreciated it. Len don't play around.
So relationships don't involve heartbreak, Jannelle?
He wasn't heartbroken.
How do you know?
He took it as a challenge. He's like, that's all right. He's like, I'm good. He was like, okay, I'll make you love me. What's up, Callie?
That's not creepy.
Mike says, Nathaniel says, good morning. What's up, Tammy? What's up, Mike? Nick says, good morning. So we were talking about different ways to stay in love and how we experience romantic love in the beginning. We talked about our stories in the beginning. And the article mentions research that reveals ways to experience a long-term romantic love. The first one was shared interests and how they strengthen relationships moving forward. One thing before we move on to the other two, there are things that I'm interested in or that I am not interested in anymore that Len says, here I go sharing stuff. Len says, like, yo, you never liked that before. Or, yo, you've always liked this. Why don't you like it now? And one of the things I tell him is, like, people evolve. Like, it's okay. And because we're talking about long-term romantic love. And we're talking about shared interests. How have you handled a person, like, changing? And how do you do, because as a person evolves and you want to give them the freedom to evolve, you have to evolve too. But you're still an individual. How have you navigated through those? Or can you resonate?
Here's the thing. Like, with Sarah and me, I don't know that we faked liking things very much.
Okay.
Like, I really despise going to football games. She was a cheerleader. I went to a game to see her cheer.
Okay.
But I was not about to go to every game. I wasn't going to fake like I love going to football games. Like, I knew what I liked and what I didn't like, and we were both pretty clear about that. I love music, I did that. She had her stuff she likes, but you're talking about how sometimes people will be like, pretend to enjoy sports. Like, a woman will be like, I love football, so I'm going to go hang out with him because I like being with him.
No. As you, 20 years into a marriage, there are new things that you like.
Sure.
That the other person isn't into anymore. Or is not into. And so that new thing you like exposes you to other people, other circles. So
Yes.
How do you stay connected with the shared interests, even as they change throughout the years? Because that's something Len has struggled with recently, where he's like, you never liked this before, So with that, I'm like, okay, well, people evolve.
Yeah.
So you don't want the feeling of I was tricked into liking you and now you're changing. Do you see what I'm saying? You let a person evolve, but how do you stay connected? Because, I
think you have to cling to things that are common interests you already have and then create new common interests together.
So, okay, are there things that Sarah likes now that she didn't like before?
Yes.
Like what? Especially she works now. A woman changes when they start working and doing, and I don't know.
So, one of the things would be, before we moved to Cleveland, Sarah and I had really never done any home improvement projects whatsoever.
Okay.
Any kind of work we'd done, we'd hired out to a contractor, or all we'd done is cosmetic stuff, like paint. But we redid our kitchen together with just a couple of specialists. We had a plumber come in for a little job. We had an electrician help with some final work. But we discovered in the process that she really loves the design part of it, and I really love the labor of it. And so we discovered together that we have a new shared interest, and it's home projects around the house. The design, the execution, I have her come and check in with me on various parts of the design. She gives her input. We install things together. Like, we didn't like that stuff before, and now we do. We found a shared interest.
Yeah.
And a way to work together in it.
Has there ever been something she started liking that you were just not about?
She was into scrapbooking when we first married. I'm into that.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Sarah, actually, what you're saying is very helpful. She said, I think it's Tim Keller who says that he realized he's been married to multiple women, but all the same woman. Maybe we just need to realize that neither of us are the same person we married, and we need to keep learning to love the person we have. Mike says, allow the love to be natural. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's just not there. And Sarah ate a mango yesterday. As I was eating the best part of the seed, I dropped it and got mango all over my shirt. That's what I'm talking about. Instantly, I thought, yup, that's why Jannelle eats mangoes in the shower. Thank you. I still plan to stick to eating it in the kitchen. I told you.
Yeah, Sarah.
You don't got to worry about all that.
Cut up your mango into bite-sized pieces and get a fork.
No,
why is this so hard?
No, you got to get the seed. You got to hold on to the seed and like really.
And so when my kids eat, here's what they do. Pretend this is a mango. When I eat something messy, I lean over the table. And I hold it so that if I drop it,
shower's better.
It goes in the table.
Shower's better.
Sarah, you're awesome, but come on.
Callie says the 5-second rule this morning was epic. She says sending special text message during the day helped my husband realize how much I love him. Oh, that's really cool. So that was the first one. The second one is you would not sit down for a first date and immediately position your phone on the table between the two of you. Would you do it on a third date? So it's talking about the second way to nurture long-term romantic love is the allure of attention. And so if you're not going to sit on a second date with a cell phone in between you, just recognizing that quality time should occur within a distraction-free zone. Especially, I think this is important as the grind takes over in your life. That means, the article says, that means barring an emergency, rely on voicemail and your trusty email inbox to avoid interruptions while you focus your attention on your partner. I know somebody mentioned a few days ago when we were talking about marriage, it's not just a cell phone. For women, a lot of times it's the kids. You know, kids, the kids end up being a distraction, and your spouse can feel like, yo, you never give me undivided attention.
And then in a traditional family, work can do that for men.
Yeah.
Always in the job, you know.
Where's the line? Because I put the line somewhere, and I'm sure you're gonna agree with Len. Let's say he's watching a movie or he's watching a game. I'll have something to say to him, and then be like, "Yo, that's messed up. Like, you don't listen to me when I want to talk." And he's like, "Yo, dude, like." Oh my gosh. He's like, are you serious? Like, can you bring it up?
No, if it's a movie, that's one thing. Like, if it's a movie, you can pause the movie. And doing that once or twice in a movie is no big deal.
Yeah.
But it's that urgent, you can't wait?
That's what he says. He's like, it's not fair that you bring stuff up when I'm, like, doing something. Then you get mad that I don't give you undivided attention. You know? So I was going to say, where's the line? Because we could say with work, at some point, your husband has to be in the job or the kid.
I think the line is that you make sure that you reserve time for undivided attention. So it could be you wait for the commercial to come on and the basketball game runs watching. You go, hey, baby, when the game's done, you got a few minutes we can sit down and talk? Nothing big, just want to ask your opinion about something. Yeah. You can go, sure, baby, that's fine, I love you. Otherwise, you'll be like, wow, it's the most intense part of the game and you won't talk to me?
I'm not more important than the game. Think about it. That's what I tell him.
Is that what you tell him?
I'm like, all these guys getting paid. They ain't thinking about you. Your wife is talking to you.
You say that to him? Are you kidding around?
No, I'm just playing. But think, that's logic, though.
You do say that to him.
That is logic.
First you say, no, I don't love you. After he says he loves you.
Oh, my goodness. See, Rob even says it. Those are tests to see that you are always a priority. You got to test that. See that?
Wow, Jannelle. And you all think it's fun on her team? Go ahead. Keep being on Team Crazy.
Oh, man. Sarah says, yes, thank you, Brian. That hadn't occurred to me. I did that, but the best part is eating all the leftovers off the seed. Yes, it is. And then that seed is all slippery and, oh, my goodness. So
I don't know. I mean, if you're leaning over the table or your plate, my dad taught me, I don't care how sloppy you get with that seed, it shouldn't land on your shirt.
Kathleen has a good point. She said the line needs to be full of grace.
Not your line.
So whether it's the game or the kids.
I can't read whether you're messing with us or not.
No, I used to say that. I don't say that no more. I got other stuff to do. But I used to say that. And was it the game? It would be the game. It would be movies.
So
yeah.
And
I'm not even talking about movies I'm watching with him. It'll be like movies he's watching. And I'm not into the movie, so I'm like, yo, I gotta tell you something.
Let's get into an example here. Let's just say you're going to interrupt game, the fourth quarter, last minute of the game. Why are you interrupting the game to talk to Len? Like, what is the issue that's urgent that you need to talk about?
You know, something happened and my mom said something and hurt my feelings. Or, yo, I
Are you messing with us, or this is what you really were doing?
Back in the day, yeah, I was super needy back then. Like, I had...
Your feelings were hurt and you couldn't wait a minute.
But what you find important is different. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know where the game is. That's what it is. It's not on purpose. You may not know what's going on. And you're like, yo, babe, can I talk to you? Or if a person's like always watching TV, how do you know, okay, when can I interrupt you?
Well, if somebody dies and you get a call about a death in the family, you should interrupt the game. If there's an emergency, like a health emergency. But if it's not an emergency, I don't know why something couldn't wait till the commercial, why you couldn't pause whatever it is and just be like, hey, can we talk later? But like, no, if I'm watching a movie, we pause to talk about the movie. Or if there's something big coming up, oh, we forgot. Tomorrow morning we have to get up at such and such time because the kids, and oh, thanks for the reminder, that's great. But like, stop a movie for what, an hour to have a deep discussion?
That's true. But I'm telling you, I'm not like that no more. Kathleen says, if you know your husband wants to watch the game and that's his downtime and something he enjoys, then try not to interrupt that. Likewise, you and your husbands respect our time when we need it. Charles says there's always an issue at that moment in time.
Always an issue. Yep.
And Charles says, #facts. Kathleen says, man will always let us down. Spouses are human. God designed it so that we would need him first and foremost. And I think a lot of the times is what we feel is important, because there are times Len wants to talk about something. Oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh. After 8 o'clock, I don't know if you experienced this, I can't, and I told you, I'm all about strategizing. I cannot think. I can't make decisions. I can't engage in, like, none of that. He'll want to bring up, like, life issues and bills or the kids after 8. Like, after 8, I'm in a zone of, like, okay, I got the meals ready and I'm going to bed.
So how do you handle that?
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
so how do you handle that?
There are times that I'll say, yo, babe, like, I can't. Like, I'm just...
And what does he do?
It's a lot. Sometimes he'll respect that. There are other times, and that's what I'm saying, where he'll, like, what he wants to talk about is important. Well, so I think it's all relative. For him, it could be the game, and I'm thinking, okay, the game's not that deep.
I don't know if it's that relative, though. Like, if the bill is due tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. It's not...
You not being willing at the moment because you're tired isn't good enough. Like, you're going to have to suck it up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to take one of my kids to the store yesterday, but they had a legit reason to go, so I went. You know what I mean? Like, there are times when you can say no, but there's... Like, I don't know that the line's that hard to discern. Is something urgent or not? If it can wait, and your spouse needs to wait, let him wait, right?
Ooh. That's calling. He's watching overtime.
She's going to answer.
Hello?
I'll tell you that. Here we go.
Yeah. He said, I'm calling to see if I made it in time for overtime.
That's
Where
not
are
true.
you? He's in the...
What's he doing?
You're in what office?
I'm in my office.
Bring him over to the microphone.
Okay, you are actually in time for overtime. We were about to go.
Oh,
Len, no.
You're a liar.
Can you tell him that story?
He just hung up on you.
Why did he call?
He's not going to talk to you?
Did I? He said, "Did I make it in time for overtime?"
You should have him tell the love story.
I wasn't super mean.
You seem nervous.
No, I'm not. Wow, that was weird. Wow. Hey, listen. Remember that time you first told me you love me, and my response? Hey, why'd you call?
We're going to have to go.
Okay, bye. That's so weird. Oh, a long story, but it's mine. I had a conversation with a guy when I was 22, and I told him I was finally happy with being single, and I was done looking at my own.
See how long, 2 weeks later. Yeah, we'll have to look through that.